Julie, let's bring in Paul Perez, the president of the National Border Patrol Union. Paul, thank you. You just heard what William LaJeunesse set up in California, but this comes after Governor Gavin Newsom is asking for tens of millions of dollars to provide legal assistance to migrants that may want to challenge it. And you've got in San Diego County, it wasn't too long ago that the San Diego County Board of Supervisors voted 3-1 to become a super sanctuary jurisdiction, specifically to stand against the incoming border czar Tom Homan and President-elect Trump's plans to crack down on day one. Here is one of those supervisors talking about ICE compelling her sheriffs to cooperate. Listen to this, Paul.
Our sheriffs are not responsible for, nor should they be held accountable for participating in what is essentially a federal job, which is deporting members of the community.
Paul, what do you say to that?
So what I say is take President Trump and his incoming administration at their word. They're going to do the job of protecting Americans. And so it would be incumbent upon those sanctuary cities and jurisdictions to understand one thing: federal law supersedes state law. Any municipality, anybody that's going to get in the way is going to be dealt with. And so they need to take this incoming administration at its word, because they're going to have some of the best legal minds working within the Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security. So it's not something that they're taking lightly. They're going to do the job.
Paul, let's go from coast to coast, from California out to New York. If you heard in Nate Foy's report, he was just talking about the police commissioner in New York City said it's not a specific threat to New Year's, but one of the challenges, particularly in the Times Square area, they have had crime after crime committed by the violent Venezuelan TDA, Tren de Aragua gang members. And so she's saying that is a possible threat to the community. We can show you that in the El Centro sector, the Border Patrol chief out there posting this picture today from Chief Bovino. This is a Tren de Aragua gang member writing, "This ain't Aurora. Tren de Aragua faces consequences in the premier sector." So this is coast to coast. Do you think that these sanctuary jurisdictions that refuse to cooperate are making it more dangerous?
Oh, yeah, of course. They're making it dangerous for everybody, especially those that are in their jurisdictions. And their job is to protect the public. And they're not even doing that. So, yeah, they are making it more difficult. Border Patrol agents, ICE officers, HSI, everybody wants to do their job. And under this administration, they're just not allowing us to do it.
And I want to just lastly, Paul, address the Mexican cooperation question mark. That's what I'm calling it. Mexico has a new president, Claudia Sheinbaum. We know that she has taken some effort to try and assist the Biden administration in bringing numbers down in the just couple of months she's been in power. But she tweeting out what the Associated Press also reported on, that now they're setting up south of the border an app to allow migrants who want to cross potentially illegally across our border to alert when they may be at risk of being apprehended by U.S. officials. Your reaction?
It's not going to matter. President Trump has made clear he's going to allow Border Patrol agents to do the job, and they can create apps, they can do smoke signals, they can give whatever kind of warnings they want. It's not going to deter us. It's not going to stop us from being effective at securing the border, because that's what President Trump wants to do to protect this nation.
And just lastly, in the 10 seconds I've got, are you concerned that Mexico won't cooperate enough, or do they appear ready to assist with the Trump administration?
They'll fall in line. Everybody falls in line with President Trump because he means business, and protecting this country is what he's going to do.
Paul Perez, president of the National Border Patrol Council. Paul, thanks for joining us, and have a Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Julie?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.